Okay. All right, Shalom, Shalom. It's Yom Kanan, that's Hebrew. Coming in from Fort Judah. Well, Fort Worth, Fort Judah. I'm on 10th of Lamar, so if anybody want to come down and ask any questions, which we living in a very biblical time, which is the end times, but I got it short according to the Bible. So when we go to St. Luke, it's in Matthew's too, but I'll do the one. I'll do the one in Matthew. Yeah, so when you start at St. Luke, come on. Oh, I think I'm getting rusty. Okay, so this St. Luke 21 and 8. I'm just talking loud so the camera can actually hear me.
Okay.
This says, I'm going to start at 7. St. Luke 21 and 7. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? Because they asked him basically, when is he going to return? And they asked him, saying, well, I already read that, I'm sorry. And he said, take heed that ye be not disturbed, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, which you know, that's basically like, what would you consider today like race riots? You have a lot of that going on over in Europe right now. You have a lot of people calling themselves nationalists, meaning they don't want the immigrants from Syria and from these war-torn countries coming and intruding on their land. So then he said, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdoms, which you see that all on geopolitics or international news. If you watch RT, Euro News, so you just can't watch CNN, which I actually call a Cartoon Network. But if you actually watch all the other media outlets like RT News, which is Russia TV, Euro News, you can watch BBC, just different multiple outlet sources, you actually see that Syria is in a war with the Taliban. You see America was in a war in Iraq and Afghanistan. That's why I'm saying, and kingdom shall rise against kingdom. You see Russia, the big bear, is going back to the 50s again, where they having a lot of tensions and strife going on. And they even starting on the economic level. That's why they built something called BRICS. And the Chinese a little bit in friction too. You see the task force going back and forward, which that actually caused economic woes in different countries, which leads what? To military war. Then say he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. And you see a lot of that going on too. You see a lot of different earthquakes being told to us on these different media outlet sources. And famines. You see a lot of starvation. Famine means the starvation, lack of food. You see a lot of those things going on. Right now, Venezuela is in a humanitarian crisis through the UN. You can pull it up right on your smartphone. And they're fleeing into other neighbor countries, by the way. And that's just one I'm speaking about. Matter of fact, over there in Crimea, where Russia actually went and just took it, they was going through a famine, humanitarian crisis. Over in Syria, they're going through a humanitarian crisis due to the wars, where they blockade food from coming in and out. And the closest one to us here in America is Venezuela. If you don't know what's going on, go on to the site of the UN, and they tell you that Venezuela is in a humanitarian crisis, which they actually trying to counter it right now by saying they're going to do away with the American dollar and go on to the euro and to the yuan, which is the Chinese money. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence. And pestilence are what? Diseases. You got the H1N1. You got the swine flu. What else do we have? Right now they have here in Fort Worth, They have a E. coli breakout in the chicken, and they can't even locate the source. These are the signs that the man of the Lord was asking our Lord and Messiah, what shall be the signs if you're coming? And they're all happening simultaneously right here now in 2018. Well, it started years back, because I've been doing this for 10 years watching. You guys know me. So I'm seeing it clearer and clearer. And let's keep going. And pestilence and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. Right, now what's the great signs from heaven? Where you actually have seen lunar eclipse, where you actually seen planets lining themselves up, and they say, we haven't seen this in 100 years. See, all the meteorologists and all the scientists, they know that these signs are happening, but we have to alert the people to get them ready that these are the signs. From 2,500 years ago, our Messiah was telling us, these gonna be the signs of when I'm coming. He said signs, so that means you got to get ready. And pestilence and fearful sights, and that's those the fearful sights is you coming outside your house and you see the moon like it's sitting in the water. How many of you guys think that? I think that like 8-9 times within the last 3-4 years, where I kind of almost froze, like, oh, that moon don't look right. We're supposed to be that low? Have you ever seen that before? So these are the signs that we've been waiting on. Now let's see some more. And great signs shall there be from heaven, but before all these they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prison, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. Right, now what is that speaking on? The FBI, which the guys across the street know what I'm talking about, they have a documentary that came out called what was it called? Come on, John. I might have to pull it up on my phone. Project Megiddo. Have you ever heard of Project Megiddo now? Hold on one second. Y'all give me 1 second. Hello? No. Okay. All right. Yeah, but the FBI have a document out there called Project Megiddo. Now, when you look up Project Megiddo, it goes back to, what's that, 1998, when they had the Waco event, where the guy and the FBI came in. Where after they did that assessment, well, after they did that attack on the guy, I don't know, I think he was holding the kid against their wound. He was kind of like holding something. But after that came out, they had a FBI document that's called Project Megiddo, which also interlooped into something called Rex 84. Rex 84 is giving the United States government the right to put all citizens that they deem as terrorists into concentration camps or detention centers. That's why they have a lot of these Walmarts and Kmart's closing down, because they will be using them as your local detention center. Matter of fact, let me pull it up. I'm just out here. See, you can't get mad at the weather forecaster, because I'm just here to tell you what the weather's going to be. I didn't make the documents up, and it's about the Messiah coming in, who we call Jesus Christ. Let me pull the document up, because they have it. And this came out in 2000, where they said they're going to have extremist groups come out. But let's see who's on the list. Who did they put on the list as extremists? Which if you're a Christian and you believe in the second coming of the Messiah, you're actually on the FBI too. I said, wait, how did I get into this? Let me pull it up. Project. Project Megiddo was a report researched and written by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation under Director Louis Freeh. It's released on October 20th, 1999. The report named followers of white supremacy, Christian identity. So, Project Video. Project Video, federal investigation towards October 2019, white supremacy with the all-right order. And who right behind that? White supremacy, Christian identity. So I don't know what we're doing. Militant movements, Black Hebrew Israelites, and apocalyptic in the new millennium. We're living in a new millennium. So if you believe in the second coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, you're actually on this list. So that's why the scriptures warned us that these things was going, and these was going to be the signs of his coming. So it said, Luke 21 and 12. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. Now I see why Christian identity was put on the list. Because this is what was told to us 2,000 years ago from our Messiah, that these are the things that's going to be marking of his second coming, which is actually the end of the world. It's a settle it therefore in your heart, not to meditate before what you shall answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. So really, I don't even have to even really worry about giving them no explanation on why I believe in the second coming of Jesus Christ. Matter of fact, I'm just going to read this to them if they allow me. If it's permitted in the federal district courts at that time. And because right now, believe it or not, it is an attack on all Christians right now. That's why they're taking God out of all the equations, out of the schools and everything. They're not permitting you to even say, bless America in God or any of those things. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. So those of us who are fellow believers, our family members don't actually give us up to the state. And you see a lot of that going on now, where brothers are falling out, whether it's over economic reasons. You have parents who getting into it, and their kids are becoming their enemies for whatever reason. Betrayal, mostly. A lot of greed going on here. Okay, what else? And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But there shall not an hair of your head perish. See that? So, really, there's no concern about those things. Now, I'm going to show you where they took this out of the Christian Bible. They kept it in the Catholic. Because this coincides with what I just read. Okay, one more time, y'all. I'm sorry. Hello? No, what they got to do is they got to do the inside, because the guy told me yesterday that the outside was fine. The streets are clear. It's internally. Okay, so they know. Okay, they can do that again. Well, okay. Right, go through the motion. Okay. Okay, so now let's go one step further, which if we was in the Catholic Church, this is what they'll be showing. This is what they show in the congregation. Right here. Go a little bit further with it. Because how do you read the Bible? Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, to get the whole understanding. This second Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, and that was in red what I was reading in Luke 21 chapter, 21st chapter. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which you're seeing a lot of that. You're seeing a lot of protests going on. I think a year or two ago they had the 99% versus the 1%, which you had young college kids basically saying that the 1%, the rich, is actually undermining their whole future and not giving them a chance at a better life. The American dream, for instance. What else? What else? We got all over the world though, because it said uproar of the people in the world. All over through Europe, you had a run on the bank. You had the what they call it, the TPP, which that was a trade agreement between America and Europe. And in Europe, they didn't want America TPP to go through, which Trump actually abolished it, which I know they're happy about that. But the TPP included America and Europe trading goods when it comes to farming, dairy. And what they were saying was America has a lot of GMO, genetically modified food, and they like to grow their crops from the ground themselves, so they didn't want that to go through. So they went out to, protest against that, and many other things they protested, which I can't think of right now. But you seeing the uproars of the people all over the world. He's another one of the signs that we're supposed to be looking for, because he said, what? Measure thou the time in itself diligently. You got to diligently. That's why I know about a lot of this information, because that's what I've been doing for 10 years since I woke up. I've been measuring the time diligently in itself. Okay, let's keep going. 2nd Esdras 9:2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when thou shalt be seeing earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So that the end is manifesting itself right here to us. But to those who's not taking heed to this and don't know these holy scriptures, he gonna come as a thief in the night. Because you're gonna think that the fires in California, that's just a normal occurrence.